your face.
Oh,
Yes, I can see
all
your
right. Okay.
All right.
So,
Okay.
hello everyone.
Hi. Hi everyone and good afternoon lah kan, Yongsin?
Yes, good afternoon
Mm-mm.
everyone. So today we are going to talk about the fear of abandonment. This is a very
Mm.
interesting topic. A lot of people commented that they really can relate to this topic as well, right, Ira? And
Mm-mm.
today we have today you have me as a clinical psychologist, Yong-Sing, and we have Ira as a clinical psychologist as well. We are going
Mm-mm.
to dive into this topic, right?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
mm-mm. And if we look back on this topic, right, it's a connection with our previous live topic before, where we talk about insecurities, when we talk about attachment style, when we talk about self-confidence, and when we talk about what is the last the last one is attachment, right? Yes, the attachment.
Yes.
Yes. So it's all connected. So
Mm, yes.
yeah, it's connected, right?
Yeah, before we start, right, I also want
Mm.
to share a story that I found like
Oh,
how they
sorry.
describe abandonment lah.
Ah,
Actually,
ah.
it's just like our Disney stories. So, you know, Cinderella,
Mm,
Cinderella, Rapunzel, the long
mm,
hair princess, right?
mm, mm,
So they actually have like very family issues. Like the parents or their stepmothers are quite emotionally abusive or neglectful, don't really
mm,
care
mm,
about them. They always ask them to do the house chores, don't let them go outside, threaten them if they want to do something that they don't allow. So a lot of these stories, right, they reflect something is maybe a cause for abandonment. Yeah, so like maybe everyone can also chip in if you notice like you have experienced similar things. Later, Ira will share
mm,
more about the causes as well
mm,
on
mm,
what is the causes that for abandonment issues.
mm, mm,
Mm,
mm, mm.
okay,
Yep.
right.
Mm, mm.
Yes.
All right. So,
So,
yeah,
hmm,
before we begin,
you go,
right,
you go.
Young Sid, if you look back on the Disney story, kan, Cinderella ke, Rapunzel
Mm,
ke, like you said, that has macam specific issues lah with the families, kan. So, kalau macam
mm,
Cinderella, at certain
that
point,
part.
she lost dia punya parents, right? And
Mm,
then dia tinggal dengan ibu tiri dia, right? So, if we
mm,
look at here, dia kehilangan someone that she really loved, someone yang she depends on, and now she has to grow up um, on her own with her stepmother, kan? So this can create her fear of abandonment. Also, it can, I mean, losing someone yang dia sangat-sangat berharap can put her in risk untuk develop this fear of abandonment as well. So later I will share with you guys lah how losing someone can cause ataupun can become a risk factor for you to have a fear of abandonment. Although during your childhood it was a well experience in your childhood, kan, no issues of insecurities ke apa, you have this kind of secure attachment style, but what makes you still develop this kind of fear of abandonment during your adulthood? So we will talk about that later lah. Okay,
right. So
so
stay
to begin with,
tuned.
yeah,
Yeah.
stay tuned. But to begin with now, as for now, maybe we can start to share with our audience first, Yongsin, how or
Yeah.
what is actually the fear of abandonment and some signs of fear of abandonment.
Mm.
Mm,
So let's give a very simple the definition for
mm,
what's abandonment.
mm,
Abandonment means like the fear of
mm, mm,
abandonment. It means that it's anxiety, a very strong anxiousness that the people who are close to you are gonna leave you. So it's very simple. Just like you keep on thinking like, oh, this person will leave me. My friend will not like me anymore. My boyfriend will not
mm,
want to be with me anymore. My partner wants to leave me. So all these are anxiousness, fear that one day they will be leaving you. So a
betul?
lot of symptoms. Yeah, so when we have this fear, we have two ways of responding to it. One is you fight. Means that you are very anxious, you want to cling onto that person. You might become extra pleasing. You want to please this person so that this person don't think of you as macam like I tak suka you anymore, like that.
Mm,
So
mm,
you want to be as good, as nice as possible. But that's also come with a cost lah. That means you might be overly pleasing to someone, and then you become like you disregard whatever you want in yourself. You just give only, and you'll be very exhausted at the end. And that is the clingy part, where we are very scared, so we try to cling onto that person. We might work too hard to please, and then we blame ourselves for if anything don't work out. We say, oh, it's my fault, that's why this person is leaving me, that's why this person doesn't like me anymore. And we will be very sensitive to criticism as well. That like, if let's say this person that we really love, or our friend we really like, and whenever they say something that we don't that say that we're not good, or say criticize us some ways, we become very sensitive. We're like very scared. Oh my god, did I do something wrong? So this is the anxious part.
Be more extra cautious with your behavior as well, right?
Yeah.
Because of your anxious.
So that's the anxious one. And another way of responding to the fear of abandonment is running away. So imagine you feel like this is something very scary. I feel like this person is gonna leave me. So before this person can leave me, I jalan dulu, I lari dulu, right? So I will protect myself. I will shy away from connecting with this person. I avoid, I distance, so that I don't have to face the actual potential of being left by someone. So this is the avoidant way of dealing with this fear of abandonment. That is the self-protection lah. So some of the signs that you can see lah, if let's say you have this fear, before you want to commit to a relationship, you start to, hi, grateful for me. Right? Yeah. So yes. So we are talking about it's okay. Late for 7 minutes. You're still here.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining. Yeah. So now we're just starting to introduce about the signs of fear of abandonment. So one is you might be too clingy. You might want to just keep on pleasing the person so that they don't leave you. Another one is you become too distant. You become like you want to just run away before someone can hurt you. You become very distant with everyone. Sometimes if it's severe lah, you have a fear of abandonment with everyone, even your friends, your family. You become isolated. You build a wall. You build a wall outside. Yes. So that and some people will have a combination as well. And thank you for your sharing. For me, we share more on how to work with this, right? So,
Yongsin, you quite lagging lah, Yongsin.
Am I lagging?
Yeah, sometimes you lagging.
Am I still lagging now?
Okay lah.
Okay.
So kalau our audience, let's say lah, our audience also have some difficulty, macam nampak kami ada masalah, so just let us know lah, so that we can take a look from our side. Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah. So I guess that this is what we talked before as well, when we talk about the attachment style before, right? In our previous live, where we mentioned about this anxious and avoidant and disorganized attachment style, which falls under the insecure attachment style, okay? So if we look at here, someone with fear of abandonment, they can have this anxious attachment style, macam Yongsin cakap tadi lah, the signs of how the anxious attachment style usually works, and they can also have this avoidant attachment style at the same time lah. It reminds me one of my client, dia macam, you know, when dia ada this kind of fear of abandonment, at the same time dia ada both. Dia ada anxious and dia ada avoidant attachment style. Bila dia ada anxious attachment style, itu yang membuatkan dia rasa every time dia rasa takut, every time dia rasa macam triggered, atau dia rasa macam being threatened atau rasa tak safe, that's where the anxious comes in. Kan? That's where dia akan buat something, become a people pleaser ke, become extra clingy ke, to get rid of that fear, that anxious. Tapi at the same time, whenever that dia rasa macam this kind of bila dia rasa macam, you know, dia akan rasa macam I'm not good enough, at the same time dia boleh jadi avoidant as well, sebab dia rasa I am not good enough, so I rasa macam malu untuk berdepan dengan orang, that's why I try to avoid them as well. So some people can have only anxious attachment style whenever they related to the fear of abandonment. Some people can have both. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really
So
hard to determine a person just anxious because we are very flexible. That means like sometimes we think in this way, like, oh, I feel that this person wants to leave me, but I don't want to appear so clingy. I think I shouldn't be this clingy. Then I avoid so that maybe this person will finally see that I'm important, but actually
yes.
anxious inside. Pun ada.
So this kind of behavior showing that the anxious attachment style lah. Maksudnya because okay, let's put like this. When we are in anxious state, our brain is trying to protect us. When we are in anxious atau when we are in depressed kan, our brain is actually trying to protect us. But the way they protect us, sebenarnya it's unhealthy. Walaupun the word protect tu nampak macam bagusnya, our brain is trying to protect us, right? But actually the way they protect us is in unhealthy way of protecting. Contohnya, kalau when we are anxious, what our brain trying to tell us adalah by running, by avoiding. Because that's how we overcome our fear, by not doing that thing. Right? Tapi kalau when we are depressed, how our brain trying to protect us by isolating. Isolate ourselves, then you would be less depressed. That's how our brain is trying to talk to us. Tapi it's unhealthy lah. Meaning that you should do the opposite. So maksudnya kalau lah macam yang Sin cakap tadi kan, when you being extra clingy, alright, it seems like extra clingy here adalah part of avoidance behavior juga. Sebab avoidance here mean dia avoid untuk rasa takut. So, bila dia become clingy, dia untuk avoid that rasa takut lah. Sebab dia dah jadi clingy kan. Bila dia jadi clingy, dia tak rasa that takut anymore.
Yeah. Things like doing something to prevent the fear,
betul.
right?
Yeah, so that's what it means by kenapa someone with fear of abandonment can have this kind of anxious attachment style as well. Sebab that's how it works. Sebab itulah yang membantu diorang untuk rasa safe and secure.
So actually, right, in terms of this fear of abandonment, there's two types also. One is when you are in adult, and one is when you are in the childhood lah. So when you are in the adulthood, it can be because of a relationship, intimate relationships, dengan kawan-kawan, dengan family members. Yeah, you have this fear of when I didn't do enough, like Ira, you said. Not enough, I'm just not good, but that a lot of fear that because I'm not good, I think like you might leave me, so it's constant in a fear. On the other hand, if it's in a childhood time, is about the child fear of abandonment in general, like by parents, by adults. It's like they don't think like they are important, they feel like they are constantly being left alone. It's a fear as well lah.
Itu causes lah kan Dan Yongsin kan. So meaning that how the fear of abandonment can be developed. Maksudnya what Yongsin is trying to say adalah fear of abandonment ni can be developed either daripada your childhood experience atau your childhood experience are well developed. You tak ada issue with your childhood experience. There is no adverse childhood experience during your childhood. Tapi kenapa if you look at your current condition, you have this kind of fear of abandonment? It could be your adulthood experience is the one yang triggered your fear of abandonment. So maksudnya, it can come from childhood, but it can come during your adulthood period. Okay, and Yongsin, I nampak grateful for me comment that she used to have anxious only before. Now she have both attachment style, which is anxious and avoidant lah, which is grateful for me. If you could identify and understand your own attachment style, because later if we talk about the coping, how to deal with the fear of abandonment, right? One of the way adalah understanding your own attachment style, because having certain kind of attachment style also can be causes of the fear of abandonment. Alright. So let's say like you are having this insecure attachment style. So like we talked before, under insecure attachment style got 3, right? The first one is anxious, avoidant, and the third one is disorganized attachment style kan. So having these three insecurities attachment style boleh buat you develop this fear of abandonment as well. So if you could help yourself understand what kind of attachment style that I'm having, it could help you to deal with your fear of abandonment in a better way lah. Alright, Yang Sin, do you have anything else to say about the signs? Maybe you can help our audience understand what is the signs of fear of abandonment in a relationship, for instance.
Okay, let's look at, because just now we already have two categories lah. We just break down them lah. So actually, if in a relationship, if you feel like there is a fear of abandonment, or if you are wondering if you have it, so some of the signs are you might be having this intense fear of separation, especially sometimes if your partner, let's look at intimate relationship, your partner may be just showing some signs of like tiredness or not really responsive to your messages, but you suddenly feel very fearful of maybe they don't want to talk to you anymore. Maybe they're talking to some other people. Maybe they are planning to leave you. So they just do something minor, or maybe they don't have that intention to abandon you, but you are thinking that they are leaving you already. So this is one of the ways it shows up when you have this fear of abandonment, is when the situation doesn't shows up as abandoned, but you are seeing abandon, you are fearing that coming to you already. Okay, so that's one of the scenarios very commonly happen, right? I believe you see in many of our clients as well, where sometimes it's because of their past experiences that they become having this fear whenever they see their partner showing some signs, talking to other person, other gender more often, then it becomes like they develop an intense fear, right? When the situation is not like really fitting to the fact that they are abandoning you. Okay, and some of it is some people, they don't want to commit in relationships. They go around in different people, they go in different relationships, but they never want to settle down. They just feel like, I don't want to settle, I don't want to commit. Because when you commit, you have this fear that, what if this person leaves me and I cannot take it? I commit and then I'm being left, then I'm the hurt one. I will be hurt by others. So instead of risking myself to be hurt by others, I just block out all the relationships that I can engage. I just have touch and go kind of relationship. I just don't want to engage in the fully commitment kind of thing lah. That also shows up, actually is a kind of fear underlying that I will be abandoned if I commit, right?
Betul?
Yes. So, some of this, nowadays there's this phenomenon, right? Whereby people are fear of getting married.
What kind of phenomenon?
Yeah, fear of getting married. This is also
fear of getting married?
Yes. Have you heard of it? I mean, in my... Tak ada.
I dengar orang nak kahwin banyak.
Orang nak kahwin. Okay. Maybe it's in more of the Chinese culture lah, because I noticed a few of my friends, I noticed some of the influencers, they talk about not wanting to get married, which makes me thinking also, what's the reason not wanting to get married? It's if there's a lot of reasons lah, but some people, they show up as a fear of the commitment, or don't like the commitment. If let's say that there's different reasons, some reasons are like they don't believe in marriage and stuff, but some are like the fear of commitment as well lah. Alright. So you have anything to input?
No. You can proceed.
Yes. Okay. So there's other things like if you are fear of commitment, sometimes they already commit into the relationship, but they aren't able to be emotionally vulnerable with their partner. It's a bit similar to
not feeling
avoidance. Not opening up. Like avoidance attachment lah. They don't really open up to their partners. They are very distant even in a relationship. They don't share much about how I feel today, or I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel something. They don't share. They just like, oh, I done already, I did, like not expressing.
Yeah,
Yes.
betul.
So these are some of the I think very easy to catch lah if you've been in a relationship or even friendship. When I think I've heard some people when they have this fear, they may share too much about themselves when the friendship just started. Yeah, that's also one of the yes. So for example, I just meet you first time, and then you start to share with me about your past relationship, your ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriend. Yeah. And just started already, right? You just met this person. So if you accident or you share too much in when you just started a friendship, it can show up as because you might want to get close to this person very quickly, and you want to feel that connection. But because of this one, actually underlying is a fear that, oh, if I don't show up myself more, if I don't share more, maybe this person won't find me interesting. Maybe this person don't want to be friends with me because I don't open up. So I use a lot of details about myself to make sure that we get close very quickly.
Yep, that's true.
Yes.
And sometimes people with fear of abandonment ni, dia orang ada character of being manipulative as well. In order to get in, just to orang kata just to be in that social group lah. So they can put as much as effort that they want until up to being manipulative, just because of they are afraid of being abandoned by this specific group of people. Can go
close to BPD traits, right?
Betul. And another thing yang I selalu observe lah on someone with fear of abandonment ni, usually they will tend to become a people pleaser jugalah. Maksudnya please people just to stay with that person atau with that specific group of people, and they tend to hyper focus on other people's need rather than their own needs. So later the coping parts, that's one way adalah one way untuk kita overcome that fear adalah less hyper focus on other people's need but focus on your own self more. So that one way lah. Okay, so meaning that one of the character adalah diorang suka hyper focus on other people's need and less prioritize on themselves. So yeah, that could be a sign that you are having a fear of abandonment as well, by looking at other people more.
You know, this get me thinking, right? Hyper focusing on others' needs. Sometimes in our culture, it's very common because I heard a lot of people saying this belief lah, that is, you need to put others first. Like it shows how much you care for them, putting others first instead of yourself. So it can go to the extreme of becoming, I just care about others. I don't care about myself. If other people not happy, I'm not good.
Yeah. So meaning that it seems like you put a benchmark about yourself. I mean, other people has become your benchmark untuk you nilai diri you sendiri, right? Which is not healthy lah, right? Sebab I mean that it's not other people yang sepatutnya determine who you are. It's supposed you are the one who's supposed to determine who you are. Okay? Alright. Yeah. So yeah, that's about the sign. Do you have anything else to add about the signs of someone with fear of abandonment, Yongsin?
I think that's all. I think we can move on to looking at the underlying reasons lah.
Okay. So if you look back about the causes of the fear of abandonment kan, macam I cakap tadi, it can be come from two period of life. The first one is childhood and the second one is adulthood. Kan? Okay, so from childhood, someone with fear of abandonment having a childhood abandonment ataupun childhood neglect itu sangat-sangat, ataupun childhood abuse experience, sangat-sangatlah mendorong you untuk develop this fear of abandonment daripada kecil sampailah ke besar. Okay, so contohnya childhood abandonment. Childhood abandonment ni I suka cakap maksudnya when your parents can provide your childhood life with safety and secure. Contohnya, I suka divide by dua lah. Satu is physical abandonment, kedua adalah unintentional abandonment. Physical abandonment ni contohnya kalau you memang masa kecil parents you suka hantar you pergi daycare ke ataupun pergi sekolah. That kind of physical abandonment. Tapi actually bukan bermaksud yang kita tak boleh nak buat benda tu. We can do that. Memang kita kena tinggalkan anak dekat sekolah. Kita tak boleh duduk dengan anak kita dekat sekolah, right? We have to dan bila masa tak nak pergi sekolah pula kan. So maksudnya memang kita kena hantar dia orang pergi sekolah. Tapi for them, that is a physical abandonment. Especially masa mula-mula nak masuk sekolah. Sebab itulah dia orang menangis. Sedangkan ibu dekat tingkap kat sebelah tu je. Tengok dia. Tapi dia ingat ibu dia tinggalkan dia dekat sekolah tu. Ataupun tinggalkan dekat daycare. Pada kita memang kita kena buat macam tu. Sebab itu boleh membantu dia orang untuk develop dia orang punya social skills as well. Tapi pada diorang, kita tinggalkan diorang. The parents tinggalkan diorang dekat sekolah. Itu yang dia rasa macam, mama tak sayang adik. Dia macam tu, mama tinggalkan adik dekat sini. So that's physical abandonment for them, parents buat macam tu dekat diorang. So in a way to do that, maksudnya walaupun benda tu kena buat, tapi untuk kurangkan rasa that fear among our child, that's why kita kena bagi tahu dia orang, reassuring dia orang yang kita sayang dia orang and why we did all this thing. Explaining to the kids. So make them understand kenapa kita buat macam ni. It's not that we are not love them, tapi sebab kita buat macam ni, sebab macam ni. Kita nak dia masuk sekolah, jumpa kawan-kawan and bagi tahu yang we always be there for them. Reassuring diorang, validate rasa takut anak-anak. So in order to avoid this fear of physical abandonment. And the second one adalah when I said that unintentional abandonment tu adalah when your parents kena tinggalkan you because of sickness ataupun death. Maksudnya kids yang dah kehilangan parents because of sickness ataupun death, this could develop this kind of fear of abandonment juga masa kecil. Okay?
Cinderella loh, is it right? Macam Cinderella.
Yes, macam Cinderella. Yes, dia daripada childhood ni dia dah ada experience being abandoned. Tapi dia punya being abandoned adalah unintentional abandonment. Abandonment yang tidak macam how do I say this? It's not yang parents memang sengaja nak tinggalkan you. Okay. And the second one is
right. I just want to add in a little bit, right? Those who experience unintentional abandonment, I pernah dengar lah, like they have this perception like people won't stay with me or people will always leave me for external reasons. Also a type of thought lah that
yeah, betul? Alright, and the second one is neglect. Maksudnya, kalau macam tadi abandon kan, yang ini your parents physically is there, tapi dia tak boleh nak provide you two things. The first one is a physical needs. Maksudnya, diorang ada dengan you, tapi when it comes to makan, minum, tempat tinggal, ataupun attention, they are not there with you. Maksudnya dia orang present but they neglect you. Neglect in terms of the physical things. And the second one is neglect you punya emotions. Alright, so maksudnya contohlah, maksudnya the parents is there tapi whenever that you are having a problem or you are having an intense emotion, you are not allowed to feel that way. You can't express your emotions. You are not given an opportunity to express your emotions freely. So that's what it means by being neglect in terms of the physical needs and also emotional needs. So receiving this kind of neglectful behavior daripada parents during your childhood experience could develop the fear of abandonment until you sampai ke besar. So kalau kita ada yang kalau dalam ni yang ada dah jadi parents, So try to avoid this kind of childhood abandonment ataupun childhood neglectful behavior towards your kids. If not, there will be a risk factor untuk diorang develop this fear of abandonment bila sampai ke besar nanti. And when they grow up, if they have this kind of fear of abandonment, it will affect their punya relationship. It's either with the friends atau with their partners atau with anyone lah. So meaning that childhood experience is really important for us to take note lah. Sebab before we come to our adulthood, we pass through dulu the childhood experience. Okay, and how about the adulthood experience pula? Macam I cakap tadi, sometimes our childhood experience is well developed. Tapi kenapa kita still ada this kind of fear of abandonment? So mungkin during our adulthood experience, kita pernah putus cinta ke, sedih pula dengar, kita pernah putus cinta ke, kita pernah kehilangan partner kita disebabkan kematian ke, ataupun penceraian. So this could be, kita hilang someone yang kita sangat-sangat sayang kan, someone yang kita realize sebelum ni. So benda ni pun boleh jadi one of the factors how the fear of abandonment can be developed. So bila kita ada this kind of fear of abandonment masa kita punya, because of this adulthood experience, so bila kita ada relationship yang baru, kita akan jadi someone yang sangat-sangat anxious attachment style. Kita jadi worry yang partner kita ada affair lain lah. That's why kita akan keep reassuring ataupun kita be more extra cautious on that. So that kind of, how do I say this? Jadi kita punya ways of reassuring tu, dia lebih kepada unhealthy dan membuatkan pasangan kita pun tak selesa dengan kita.
Yeah, constantly seeking for assurance.
Yeah.
Not asking, pergi mana? You tengok dengan
sebab apa? Sebab you takut you being abandoned by your partner. Because previously, this is what you have been received.
Kan? Aside from the yang personal punya experience, putus cinta, all that, right? Sometimes witnessing your close one, parents ke, ataupun witnessing your best friend, witnessing your family members, experiencing these abandonment things that happen. It can be betrayals, it can be affairs. Witnessing itself also can cause an emotional reaction in yourself as well. That's also when you grow up, then only something change.
Betul. And kalau you have this insecure attachment style daripada your childhood, maksudnya masa childhood, if we talk before kan, masa kita cakap on our life before, child yang ada insecure attachment style will have this high risk factor untuk develop macam-macam issue during dia punya adulthood period. Kan? So kita punya attachment style ni according to the theory of attachment lah, kita boleh nampak daripada umur 6 bulan ke atas dah kita boleh nampak the strong attachment dah start bonding tau. So kat situlah kita kena start to develop more secure attachment style dengan anak-anak. So to overcome to not develop this kind of insecure attachment style lah. So kalau you ada insecure attachment style, it also can become the factor ataupun the causes of fear of abandonment. Yongsi, you are lagging. You can hear me ke?
I cannot hear a bit sikit.
Okay. Sekarang boleh dengar ke?
Boleh.
Okay. Hear me? And I can hear you. And I notice juga siapa ni grateful for me ada cakap yang how to overcome. Okay, it's okay. Grateful for me. Stay tuned. Nanti kita akan cakap sampai ke hujung Alright. So selain daripada insecure attachment style, kalau lah let's say you notice yourself ataupun your partners atau anyone around you yang having this kind of personality issues like borderline personality issues ke, narcissistic ke, antisocial personality issues ke. So having the character of personality issues itself can create the fear of abandonment. So maksudnya if you want to help your dia menyenangkan diri you jugalah, sebab I know that dealing with someone with personality issues sangat-sangatlah a bit struggle lah dekat situ kan. So in order for you untuk menyenangkan diri you, how to deal with them, sebab no matter what kita kena support je orang juga kan. Cuma how to deal with this kind of issues lah. So that's where yang kita kena tahu juga yang someone with personality issues, they can develop this fear of abandonment as well. Sebab one of the character of someone with personality issues is they are having fear of abandonment.
Yes, yes. Although it's sometimes quite hard to say, is it because of the personality issues then develop the fear of abandonment, ataupun terbalik? Fear of abandonment comes first, and later on they become a full-blown personality issues.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah.
Kalau kita cakap tadi kan, the fear of abandonment usually daripada childhood experience kita ada certain trauma. Maksudnya kita pernah kena abandon ke, kita pernah kena neglect ke before kan? So ataupun pernah kena abuse. So someone with personality issues usually the factors that contribute to the personality issues adalah the trauma. The trauma that they are having yang membuatkan confused. Siapa diri aku yang sebenarnya? What kind of personality that I should what kind of personality yang ada dalam diri aku, right? So when they are having this kind of confusion because of the trauma that they have, that's where they develop this confusion in personality or personality issues. That's where they tend to be manipulative ke, they tend to become people pleaser ke, they have this mood swing, which part of the personality issues as well lah. So to say that, like I said lah, fear of abandonment also is caused because of the trauma that you have in the past. Kan? So maksudnya the fear of abandonment can become can become the symptoms of someone who are having a personality issues. But at the same time, in order for us to deal with someone with fear of abandonment, we have to take note as well. Dia ada personality issues ataupun tidak.
So it's about the severity as well lah, kan? Like if it's just like mild level of fear of abandonment, not to the extent of personality disorder, a whole range of things as well, right? PTSD.
On that. Yeah, betul. Alright. Okay. So yeah, that could be certain factors lah yang kita boleh share about how the fear of abandonment can be developed, which is it can be developed from childhood ataupun daripada adulthood sendiri. So daripada childhood mungkin you pernah being abandoned masa kecil, ataupun you pernah being neglect daripada segi emotional, ataupun your physical need tak pernah being satisfied. Daripada segi education ke, tak pernah dapat yang cukup, daripada segi healthcare ke, tak kisah daripada segi medical ataupun daripada segi psychological part, tak pernah dapat yang cukup, tak pernah dapat attention yang cukup, and every time you ada problem, your emotions always being dismissed. So and also you ada insecure attachment style, okay, and then you ada personality issues, and you pernah ada past experience dengan dalam relationship lah, pernah break up atau pernah bercerai ataupun pernah kematian pasangan. So this could be a causes of the fear of abandonment itself.
Alright.
Okay.
So that's important to take note lah, so that we all know what's the underlying issues and reasons to understand ourselves better.
Betul?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, shall we move to the next one?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Alright, so next we can come again, Yongsin.
Later they cannot wait for the ways to help themselves. Tak boleh.
Alright, so ways to overcome ataupun to deal with macam mana? It's lagging from your side.
You can proceed.
Alright, okay. Okay, okay. Alright, so when we talk about now, we're gonna move to the next part lah, which is how to overcome or how to deal with this fear of abandonment. So just now we already understand the signs of fear of abandonment. What kind of character that showing that you are having this fear of abandonment. And the second one is underlying causes lah. Kenapa you have this kind of fear of abandonment sekarang? Kenapa? Macam mana dia boleh terjadi? Kenapa it's important for us to understand the sign and also causes, because it can be helpful untuk kita bantu diri kita how to overcome ataupun how to deal with this fear of abandonment. Okay, so I'm gonna share some techniques and Yongsin also gonna share some techniques from her side lah. Okay, so the first thing yang I suka sangat cerita whenever that tak kisahlah tentang masalah apa sekalipun, fear of abandonment ke, anxiety ke, ataupun depression ke, whatever it is, the first thing first adalah self-compassion. Sayang diri sendiri dulu. It's a kindness way of thinking towards ourselves. Okay, dalam self-compassion ada 3 elements yang kita kena ingat. The first one is self-kindness. You see? Self-compassion ni maksudnya cara untuk menyayangi diri sendiri, right? So the first one adalah self-kindness. Yes, self-kindness, berbuat baiklah pada diri sendiri. So itu menunjukkan you sayang dengan diri you. So kalau kita tak ada this self-kindness, that's where self-judgment comes in. So kalau we always have this kind of thoughts yang I'm not good enough, I'm not, I tak disayangi, I memang berhak untuk tinggal, I memang deserve untuk tinggal seorang-seorang je kat sini. Memang I tak disayangi semua tu kan. So this kind of thoughts menunjukkan yang kita tengah buat self-judgment on ourselves. While apa yang kita patut buat adalah self-kindness instead of self-judgment. Okay? So and the second element,
yeah, just to add on to that self-kindness lah. It's quite similar to the thoughts like we mentioned before as well, whereby we look at ourselves like, oh, I'm not good enough. That's a thought, right? So to replace it is to look at using the self-kindness thoughts, whereby it's okay to feel this way, or it's okay to have feeling.
So basically giving some affirmations to yourself also acts of self-kindness as well, because you need that. Sebab fear of abandonment datang because of you don't get this kind of thing masa you kecil. Your childhood experience is not well enough. So you tak dapat, ada certain needs yang you sepatutnya dapat tapi you tak dapat. So if you could provide that to yourself currently, it could help you to heal. So doing some act of self-kindness can help you to heal lah. So act of kindness ni boleh jadi through thoughts. Maksudnya instead of saying a thoughts yang I'm not good enough or I'm not lovable. So that kind of thoughts boleh benda tu boleh menerokan lagi your fear of abandonment kan. So having the nice thoughts about yourself, the self-kindness thoughts would be a great idea lah instead of self-judgment thoughts. And self-kindness also can be put into an act. Okay? So contohnya lah macam dulu, your parents didn't give you the opportunity untuk express your emotions freely. So now, reparent yourself. So give that to anyone else. Maksudnya, to anyone else or to yourself. So maksudnya kalau you tak dapat peluang macam tu dulu untuk express your emotions freely, so now, give that to yourself. And kalau you dapat buat macam tu dekat orang lain, maksudnya you bagi opportunity that to orang lain, you will get, you pun akan rasa happy. Sebab tengok orang lain dapat apa dia?
Yeah, there's a very good question. Does it mean everyone with fear of abandonment will have personality issues? I think just now.
Okay. Before awak ni, I nak habiskan ayat I sikit tadi, Yongsin.
Okay. Boleh.
I lupa dah, I cakap apa sebenarnya tadi. So, apa I cakap tadi, Yongsin? Okay, yeah. So, kalau you dapat bagi peluang macam tu dekat orang lain, you also would feel happy. So, reparent yourself with something yang you tak pernah dapat dulu. Bagi peluang untuk yourself untuk dapat that thing sekarang. So that's the second element lah. And the third, no, that's the first element. The second element of self-compassion is common humanity. So, bagi tahu dekat diri you yang your issues, maksudnya apa yang you tengah struggle sekarang, you deserve to share it with anyone else. And you are not alone in this journey. So, but we never know that some people also could struggle with this fear of abandonment as well. Okay, so I suka bagi contoh dalam bentuk pizza. Sekeping pizza yang besar, yang bulat tu kan. Ada ke pizza bentuk 3 segi? Okay. Yang bentuk bulat tu usually ada 8 slices, right? So just imagine, dalam keadaan you kenyang, then you have 8 slices. Tapi kalau you bagi each slices to kawan-kawan you, tapi you get to eat one lah. Tapi tak adalah semua you makan. So you could share with other people. So you takkan muntah sebab makan terlalu banyak, right? Just imagine kalau you yang makan semua tu dalam keadaan you dah kenyang. So you akan seksa diri you, right? You mungkin akan vomit. So that's what I'm trying to say as well about our problem. Whenever that we are having a problem, knowing that it's part of common humanity. Maksudnya kita boleh share dengan orang lain. So that's where kalau you attend the therapy, you can share with your therapist as well. You can share with anyone that you trust. Okay?
Right. So I think some people, right, would like to say that, oh, I share with other people. That means I'm blaming other people that other people also have made mistakes. Then I don't have to feel so bad
Come
about
again?
myself.
It's like it just
How? So some people,
Come again?
some people, okay, is it still like, yeah, some people, they will say like, oh, I share common humanity, kan? And then I will share like, oh, everyone will have problems. So I put the blame on others instead of sharing. So how would you differentiate between, can you hear me?
Yeah. I dengar, tapi I kurang faham you punya soalan.
Maksud like some people when they say like they share, they think about sharing this blame, like I feel like bad about myself. I made a mistake, I feel bad about myself. So some people would think about sharing means like, hey, I shouldn't put the blame on others, or I shouldn't really reduce my blame on myself because I made a mistake and it's not everybody's mistake also. Like they couldn't release that. They couldn't think of less. So like, even if I make mistake, other people make mistake, I still should be blamed. Something like that.
Sharing with other people. So sharing with other people doesn't mean that you are putting blame on other people. Okay, sharing with other people is just to reduce your burden sahaja. And sharing with other people also not expecting other people to solve our problem. Because just imagine that how you want to solve a problem if you are not having a strong foundation kan in yourself. So if you rasa everything on your bahu right now berat and you don't want to share with other people, how you want to solve the problem? Right? So that's why knowing that the problem is part of a common humanity, boleh share with other people by not expecting other people to solve your problem. The aim is just to kurangkan sahaja rasa sakit yang you rasa marah yang you ada, rasa sedih yang you ada, yang rasa takut yang you ada. So benda tu boleh build a strong foundation and you can think about how to solve the problem later.
Yes, I think this is a very good response for those who try. Yes, this is a very good response because I think a lot of clients, when they think about sharing reducing the burden, right? They will think like, hey, I shouldn't be reducing because this is my problem. I should be blamed. They will have this tendency. So when I introduce this concept, like they find it, how also it's not about not changing or not solving the problem, but it's just reducing the. So you don't blame yourself, but also you need to work on it. Yeah.
Betul. Okay. And the third element adalah mindfulness. So be in present. That's the three elements how you can show a self-compassion. How you can practice a self-compassion. First is practice self-kindness either through acts atau either through thoughts. The second one is knowing that it's part of a common humanity. And the third one is mindfulness, practicing mindfulness. Always be in present. So it shows that how you can show compassion towards yourself. Okay. So the question just now. Hi, Shuharis. Okay, so did you mean everyone with fear of abandonment will has personality issues? It's not that semua orang yang ada fear of abandonment will has personality issues. Actually, fear of abandonment ni sebenarnya sangat normal. Kan sebab kita attach dengan someone yang kita sayang. So bila kita kehilangan orang yang kita sayang tu mestilah kita ada this fear. And the fear feeling is also part of a common feeling that everyone need to have. Tapi the fear of abandonment boleh jadi a big problem kalau dia punya frekuensi ataupun dia punya intensity sangat-sangat teruk. Maksudnya dia punya fear of abandonment tu sampai membuatkan dia jadi someone yang suka neglect dia punya keperluan diri, sampai membuatkan dia jadi manipulative atau sampai membuatkan dia jadi someone yang people pleaser ataupun extra clingy ke. So itu menunjukkan intensity dia a bit tinggilah dekat situ. So to say that everyone with fear of abandonment will has personality issues, I can't say that. I tak boleh, it's not fair to say macam tu. Tapi someone with personality issues usually will have this fear of abandonment. Tapi not everyone with fear of abandonment will has personality issues.
Like just now you mentioned, right, intensity. Maybe we can let me try to demonstrate it lah. The differences in intensity. So some people with mild, like just a bit of a fear that reach to the state where it's personality issues. Sometimes it's just like, oh, my partner come home very late today. I feel irritable. I feel a bit agitated, but I can still manage. But when I talk to my partner, I have more fear, I have more emotions, but I overall is under managing. But if it's to personal issue ataupun disorder level, they can be having a very intense anger. When their partner come home late, they'll become like throw things, fight with him, fight with her, shouting, screaming, cursing words, running away from the house, so breaking up immediately. So this is the intensity. You can see that one is very mild, one is like fighting. Yeah. So that's like the difference.
Okay.
I think grateful
so
for me.
I hope that
grateful for me also mentioned something, but I don't really understand. Plus nobody
will be judged. Okay, ni continuation daripada mana je. For me, sorry, I terlepas banyak you punya komen ni. So, I tahu you komen ni part mana yang I cakap tadi mungkin. So, adakah ini yang maksudkan plus nobody will care is part of the common humanity tu, itu membuatkan you rasa macam it's not easy for you to share with other people ke? If yes, boleh you respond dekat kita ke untuk I faham sebab I macam terlepas you punya komen ni. So I tak tahu it's a continuation daripada mana. Okay, so I harap for Shuharis punya question, do you mean everyone yang ada fear abandonment ni akan ada personality issues ke? It's not fair to say that, tapi someone with personality issues usually will have this fear of abandonment. Okay? Alright. So, and yeah, what are other techniques lagi yang you nak share?
Yeah. So, I think just now you shared a very good point that self-compassion and the 3 elements. One is self-kindness, common humanity, and being mindful, right? And then the next one that I think like in the moment, like, I think everyone will be helpful is that for those who experience this fear of abandonment, sometimes it can come off sangat intense, sangat like what the severity lah, or you feel very uncomfortable with this fear. So important part is also the distress tolerance. Like how do you manage your emotions in the moment when you really feel like really difficult to handle, you want to communicate but you don't know how. So the first thing is to calm yourself down and to regulate your emotions. It can be doing something that is a self-care. So like you can go take a bath, eat something that is nice, go for a walk, watch a movie, go to run a bit to release that tension. So that distress tolerance helps you to manage at the first place. So because sometimes when we are overwhelmed, it's sangat difficult to do the thoughts like yang to reduce the judgment, because the judgment is always there for a long time, kan? So to start on to get into the self-compassion, also before that, if you are not ready to calm down, first is calm down and then you engage the self-compassion. Like the mindfulness element also is a way to calm down yourself. You're being to be mindful in terms of taking care of your emotions needs. I think for me have a question. Let's have a look. If shared with will be judged plus nobody can.
Nobody.
If shared about what
Ini yang tadi
grateful for me
ni yang
maybe.
Sin. Ni yang tadi kan I share about that. Yes, the common humanity part. So for dia ada concern lah. Kalau kita share dengan orang, then I will be judged and plus nobody can. It's interesting here. Will be judged plus nobody can. Yongsin, what you want to say about this, Yongsin?
Okay, grateful for me. Thank you for sharing this thought. First thing is share with others. The share necessarily have to share with others, but you can share with others verbally lah. And the next thing is, if you think that sharing with others verbally will lead to judgment and people don't care, so these are two predictions you make before you do this thing, right? So this shows like some form of way that you're thinking other people will not accept you or will not accept the thoughts you share. So of course you have to choose the right person to share who really cares. But if you have these people around you already, so the next thing is what stops you from sharing lah. So this is this sounds like a thinking trap that you are in. If let's say really got people around you who wants to hear but you feel like not safe to share, so this is something that you can look at. Maybe you can check, who can I share that really trustworthy, boleh trust. Maybe Ira, you can add more to this question also. It's a good question.
Tapi if we look at your answer ni, it portrays your ways of thinking juga. Grateful for me. Tapi it's understandable. Mungkin sebelum ni you pernah share tapi being judged. So somehow it makes you belajar daripada pengalaman lah macam tu kan. So membuatkan you be more extra cautious untuk bercerita dengan orang. But if I look at here, yes, if shared, I will be judged plus nobody can. So having share, if you pernah share dengan orang sebelum ni, you pernah kena judge ataupun orang tu menunjukkan dia tak care pun pasal you after you cerita dekat dia orang. Tapi what makes you think you will have the same experience now? This is what I'm trying to say about mindfulness. What makes your present situation would be the same as your past experience. So kalau tengok dekat sini, your response tu, I can detect some of thinking traps yang stop your behavior to practice this self-compassion by sharing with other people. Kan? So this thinking trap lah yang buatkan you stop. So that's my question for you to reflect. What makes you think your past experience would have the same effect with your present experience? Maybe you can try to reflect on that. Okay? Alright. Okay. So yeah, another thing yang I would like to add kan Yongsin, how we can help to deal with this fear of abandonment is like I said, sebelum ni someone with fear of abandonment, usually they will focus more on other people rather than themselves. Kan? So itu sebabnya ada yang sanggup macam tak apalah, I sakit pun tak apa. Yang penting I bagi apa yang my friend nak, my partner nak, so I tak hilang dia. Walaupun I terluka, walaupun I tahu dia orang ambil kesempatan atas I, it's okay. I rela disakiti. Dia macam tu. Kan? So it's now is the time untuk you focus on yourself pula. Sebab believe me, kalau you focus on yourself rather than other people, kalau let's say lah your fear itu coming through sekalipun, you know that towards the end, you have only you ada diri you sahaja. Because 24 hours, kita hanya ada masa dengan diri kita sahaja. That's 24 hours memang dengan diri kita. Dengan orang lain, we might have certain times, tapi most of our time is with ourselves. Yongsi, are you there? Or you are lagging? Or you are in mana? I tak tahu ni.
I have just now. I think we have a limited time to share. I think you have shared one important thing is to talk about the putting the attention back to yourself instead of others. And also that not letting others acceptance or judgment to define fully about who you were.
Betul.
Right? And we have a few questions. Maybe Ira want to check out before we end.
Okay.
There's one question about the Shru Haris.
Someone thought to only tell your burden privately to God. I was even more confused. Can you explain this one? Okay. Alright. So, okay. Since ada dua kepercayaan dekat sini, okay, I will share from my point of view dulu lah. Okay. So, from Yongsin, can you hear me ke?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Alright. So from my point of view sebagai seorang Muslim lah, okay. So memang kita ada Tuhan yang memang dia sentiasa yang maha mendengar, right? So memang kita memang kita kena bercerita dekat dia. Tapi itu bukan bermakna yang kita tak boleh bercerita dengan orang juga. Bila kita bercerita dengan orang bukan bermaksud kita rely on people as well. Kita memang kena rely on Tuhan sahaja, kan? Tapi it's more easy macam sebab Tuhan adalah something yang someone yang macam memang Tuhan adalah yang kita tak nampak tapi kita percaya dia ada, kan? So maksudnya bila kita dapat bercerita dengan orang, kita akan dapat that kind of validation as well yang sangat membantu untuk temporary. Tapi untuk bercakap dengan Tuhan tu membantu kita untuk long term. Walaupun kita tak dapat that kind of instant validation, tapi dia membantu untuk kita long term. Sebab tu Tuhan tu ciptakan kita bukan untuk seorang-seorang kat dunia ni. Kita ada orang keliling untuk berada bersama dengan kita. So I hope my little explanation ni boleh bantu dengan you, bukan boleh bantu you faham yang memang kita kena cerita dekat Tuhan tentang kita punya masalah. Tapi it's good juga kalau kita dapat bercerita dengan orang keliling kita. Okay, so what can you explain on?
When I look at masa I tengok question ni lah, thought to only tell your burden privately to God. I really wonder what the person was trying to teach you actually, because in my opinion, when relation to God, right, it doesn't restrict you to share with others. It actually encourages you to connect people, help others, and having this community, kan? So, in my opinion, maybe you might want to check siapa yang bagi tahu only to tell to God, because like Ira said, communicating with God, it gives you that faith that you build in yourself as well. You talk to others, it gives you that instant communication, you build connection with others, you get support, you brainstorm to find ways to solve your problem. I think the key here is to find a balance between every people you communicate with, whether it's God, whether it's your friend, whether it's communicating with yourself. So to find a balance, not to over rely on just one thing, kan?
Sebab tu lah ayat bila sebab tu in Muslim we have this hablu minallah wa hablu minan nas, kan? So maksudnya sebab tu lah Tuhan minta kita jaga hubungan dengan dia, kita kena jaga juga hubungan dengan manusia sebab kita pun perlukan manusia sebagai our basic human needs. Okay? Alright. So okay. So kita ni dah kehabisan masa dah. 1 more minutes. So, okay, I nak add satu lagi lah yang Sin one techniques kan adalah soothing your inner child. Maksudnya like I said before lah, so kalau someone who struggle with fear of abandonment ni, your child experience tak dapat apa yang you perlukan masa kecil, right? So that's why you have to make peace with it. You have to soothe your inner child. So one way yang you boleh buat adalah cuba bercakap dengan your thoughts sendiri. Sebab bila you dalam keadaan triggered with fear atau you rasa tak secure ke, you rasa being threatened ke, your inner child is actually trying to tell you yang I'm screaming for an attention. I'm screaming for something safe, something that can make me feel secure. So that's where you boleh duduk ambil masa and talk with your inner child. Cuba pejam mata and cuba imagine yang you tengah bercakap dengan your child lah, yourself, your child version. So give some kind of positive affirmations ke, sometimes some kinds of validations ataupun reassurance, and try to breathe together through the discomfort. So that's one of the technique yang you boleh buat lah untuk soothe your inner child as well. Okay?
To add on just that is that if you talk to them, it's difficult to talk. You can write also. Means that first you write using the inner child voice. You write like a child. You write it out. Apa you rasa, apa you fikir, and after that you can write letter as an adult. Write to your inner child. What you want to tell to this young child. Yang itulah. And one is the writing.
Betul. Okay, so if you find it difficult lah untuk you talk, then you boleh tulis. Sebab when you want to talk tu, dia perlukan betul-betul mindful on your betul-betul being mindful lah. Okay?
And last one is to look for us lah.
Yes, look for us. Sebab dengan terapi boleh bantu you daripada segi your attachment style, to heal the trauma. So yeah, those techniques kita boleh ajar lah, including your emotional regulation skills untuk bantu the fear of abandonment. Okay? Alright. Okay, so I rasa ada soalan daripada Grateful for Me ni, tapi kita tak sempat nak jawab. Okay, Grateful for Me. Okay, when husband say he needs time eating. Yeah, boleh tak Grateful for Me? Kita cuba untuk take note on this question. Then maybe we can answer in the
actually send to our message box on Instagram.
Nanti so kita cuba jawab daripada situ.
Kita jawab or we make a topic to continue juga.
Betul? Alright. Okay, so sorry Grateful for Me, kami tak cukup masa untuk menjawab soalan awak. So awak cuba DM kami soalannya, kita cuba jawab dekat situ. Alright, so yeah, thank you everyone who spend your time listening to our sharing hari ni, bebel-bebel hari ni. So hope you guys get something lah from both of us. Okay? Alright, so thank you everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.